Can I give you a little
Am I
bit
the only one
of
who thinks
advice? Start
Kody
with
is the
your
Lulu?
kids.
He really is. The audacity to
Show
think
that part
that
because
he is the
the women
one
have
who
moved
has the
on, but
power
your
to
kids
sort of
still
give
need
these women
to
their
heal.
freedom
And
and
that's the
their
part
strength
that
to
you
move
need.
on
And
from
I'm
him
just
and
saying, to be
forgive
honest
him.
with you,
He's
because I had to do it
delusional.
with my
It
own
really
kids.
is. And I think watching Christine drive the car was the moment he realized that he had lost a good thing and somebody else had found it. You could tell that he was really excited and sort of turned on by Christine in the car, if that's just what I got from that. And I'm suddenly, from the person that everybody called the villain, I think this is why Janelle was very against Meri divorcing Kody, because you can see how she's gone to Meri from time to time. And even their conversation when Meri was cheering her on and telling her, if you need me, I'll be there. I think this is why the OG wives were upset when Meri gave up her legal marriage, because they knew that whether you got along with her or not, she was always going to have your back. And I think this is why they were very against the marriage and Robyn being the legal wife. So I'm here for, the wives supporting one another. I'm here for Meri's friends, helping her and having her back. Kudos to them. Anyway, hey there. Thanks for stopping by. It's your girl, Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Sister Wives, Season 20, Episode 13. Anyway, so we pick up with Kody. He's still on his apology tour. He sat down with Christine and her husband, and he's trying to make excuses for his behavior and how sort of he behaved towards Christine, the children, and everything that was going on at the time of the divorce. This is my opinion. Kody was used to being in charge. He was used to manipulating these women. And so the idea and the audacity for them to move on from him is something he wasn't expecting. And this is why I think he was very sort of against David having his input. And David is right to say, you need to speak to your children first. You need to apologize to your children. You need to make amends with your children before you can sort of move on with anyone else, or try to sort of mend bridges with your ex-wives. And it's like, I don't think he wants to hear that, because he's used to manipulating these women. So the idea that David is there and has his wife's back is something he didn't expect. And he didn't expect David to say anything. I think he thought David would sort of support him in whatever he was going to try and sell to Christine. And so the idea that David is actually being very analytical and critical of what he's saying is something he wasn't expecting. And we had Meri and Janelle. Well, Janelle was sitting down with Meri and sort of asking Meri for guidance on the spiritual release, because Meri had told her about the spiritual release and said to her, whenever you want to do it, just let me know and I'm here for you. So the idea that Meri told her what to do and offered to go with her, not just go with her or offered to debrief with her after she'd gone through it, is something I think that was quite eye-opening. I think for me, this justified why Janelle didn't want Meri divorcing Kody, because at the end of the day, regardless of what the family thought about her, she always had her sister wife's back. And I think this is why they liked the idea that she was the legal wife. And so when she went to give up that sort of uh, power, or went to give up that status, they were very against it. So the idea that she sat there, she encouraged Janelle, she coached Janelle until Janelle was ready to send the text message. I'm here for it. And I love that although they are not the best of friends, they can be cordial and they can sort of be supportive towards one another, which tells me that these wives, Kody was the instigator. He was the one who was running around and tattling so that the wives wouldn't get along, because ever since they left him, they somehow have found ways to coexist and sort of support and be there for one another. So Kody, in my opinion, is the problem. You then had Kody sort of saying he wants to set boundaries, with David, because David doesn't need to be chiming in. I don't need to hear his opinion. He's just there because, he's Christine's husband. For him to say, I wanted you to know that I loved you, and, I was angry. That's why I say I didn't love you. He didn't love her. He wanted her because you needed children, because Meri wasn't giving him that. But I don't think, and he wanted the status that came with Christine, but I don't think he liked her as a person enough, or he appreciated her as a person enough until she left. I love that David told him, you need to make amends with your children. And he was sort of trying to cut off David. So David had to say in his confessional, I am around Kody's children and I see how they are hurt and the pain they're going through. And this is why I'm encouraging him to make amends with it. I feel like had Kody started off by apologizing to the children and then come to the mothers would be more forthcoming, would be more willing to sort of hear him. Janelle obviously is just going to always be Janelle. She's non-confrontational, and I think this is why she was quick to accept his apology. Christine, you could tell, was fed up. Christine was fed up. She didn't want to be there. She said, I'm willing to hold space with my children. And so I want to set Christine free. And it's like, who said she needs to be set free by you? Who really told you she needs to be set free by you? Who told you she's struggling to move on with her marriage because of that? She's got a man who's attentive, loving, caring, not only towards her, but her children. So why do you think she needs you? This is him being delusional. So I don't get it. Why he would do that. Um, I really don't understand. And Christine, you could tell, was becoming frustrated because she felt like he was cutting her husband off, which he was doing. He was being rude, he was being dismissive, and I didn't like that. To have Robyn be there and sort of be baking with her daughter and talking about her boyfriend and how she's never been involved in Cody's relationships with his ex-wives and she's not going to do that now. She spoke to her daughter. She said she wants her daughter to live alone first before she decides to get married to anyone. I have a feeling this man was introduced because he wants to marry her daughter, and they're trying to play it out like, oh, she had time to explore, she had time to think, she got in touch with her beliefs before she married this man. This is all a script that Robyn and her daughters have written, as far as I'm concerned. This is all a script that they've written, and I'm not buying anything that they're trying to sell us. I love that towards the end, Christina was upset and she just wanted to leave because she kept saying, I need to go to the ladies' room because Kody was saying, oh, there's more, I need to apologize. Nobody wants to hear your apology. I think Christine, had it not been for production, the moment Kody started disrespecting David, she would have left. I didn't like that, regardless of the advice that Kody was being given by David, he wasn't willing to listen. He was there, he had his opinions of what he wanted to say, and he didn't care about what anyone else had to say, regardless of how many times, David tried to sort of give him advice. He wasn't forthcoming, he wasn't willing to listen. And it's like, this man has been through stuff with his children, and he's telling you that he can see from your perspective and he can see from Christine's perspective. So he might have a better view as he is on the outside to sort of give you advice and tips on how to manage the situation. For David to offer to take Kody to Moab and Kody to say no, it's like, are you serious? This man is living in a house with your child. He's trying to get to know you because he's raising your child, and you can't afford that. So for them to arrange a date or a group activity the next day, I think it was production based, and I think it's because the show was being sponsored by this place. This is why they went. So the next day they went for this speed car racing track thingy. They got to sign disclaimers. Kody arrived a bit later, and then they went on the track. Christine was first out, and you could tell Kody was excited seeing Christine because Christine has flourished since being with David. Because David is the complete opposite of what she had with Kody, and so seeing her out there driving and enjoying herself, and having David sort of cheer her on is something Kody wasn't expecting. You could see from the excitement on his face that he really was giddy seeing Christine out there. He was excited, whether he was turned on or whatever. I didn't quite get it. I thought he looked a bit creepy. David went out, did his thing, and then Kody went out as well. And Kody tried to compete. I think he wanted to be the winner because he's always used to being the man around his family. So I think this is what he wanted to do as well. You then had Kody sit down with his friend and sort of explain that, he's on this apology tour. He's apologized to Janelle, he's apologized to Christine, and he still has to apologize to Meri. He's worried about Meri because there's issues. And it's like, you people tried to get her to sign an NDA. And you could tell that he said towards the end there were other contracts that she refused to sign. Why were you getting her to sign an NDA? Why didn't she get you to sign an NDA? Since she was horrible, she was the worst person ever, she could have got you to sign the NDA. And so for his friend not to acknowledge that and not to support that, oh, I officiated this marriage, and you could officiate somebody else's marriage, but you couldn't take your daughter to have life-saving back surgery. Make that make sense? Cody has the worst type of friends. I wish he had better friends, because at the end of the day, his friends are not giving him the advice he needs. For him to try and play victim and think that, oh, I'm worried about what Meri is going to say and do. Oh, please take several seats. We are not here for it, buddy. We are not here for it. Meri sat down with Amber and Jen, and she was telling them that she's going to meet Kody. I'm here for her friends, because her friends asked, why? Why do you need to meet up with this man? This man has been manipulative. He's done a lot of things to you. Why does he need to meet up with you? Is it a telephone call? Is it a face-to-face interaction? And she said it's a face-to-face. Obviously, it was arranged by production. Her friends were not here for it. I love that they called him out. And when he watches this, he's going to be furious because he is busy trying to say that Meri is very prickly and we have a lot of, issues that happen between us, and it's going to be very difficult for us to have this conversation. And it's like, you people try to manipulate Meri. Her friends are calling you out for trying to manipulate Meri. So the idea that you're now playing victim after telling Christine that you're not a victim, I don't get it. And I can't wait to see that interaction. I was hoping we'd be able to see it this side of Christmas, but we might have to wait until next time. So I really can't wait. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click on the link in my video to watch my review from episode 12. Bye, everyone.